This is for someone that is in a love connection. It feels like someone that you're not in contact with, because I'm picking up a song. It's called Reasons. I'll put it down below. Picking up the song Reasons. And so either this is a song that you're listening to, your person has been listening to, or it's within the context of the lyrics and the theme that I'm getting. I feel it's heavily to do with the context of the songs, the song lyrics, where your person is coming to terms with their past, of how they neglected to fully acknowledge this connection, their feelings for you. It feels like they distanced themselves or they ran away from this situation because they weren't ready. They weren't capable at the time to handle their feelings, and so they ghosted you or they neglected to take you seriously. I'm seeing, these are the cards that came out. We'll get to it in a minute. I'm seeing there's a Pentacles in here, right? So I'm seeing Pentacles. That's what I'm seeing. It's like sets of Pentacles all around the ground, and them looking at these Pentacles and realizing, I have to go pick all these pieces up. I have to make this right. I have to gather all of this up from the things that it's either things that they have said to you, things they lacked to acknowledge with regards to their feelings for you, or things that you have said to them. Like, it could be streams of individual text messages that they never acknowledge. It's like that. So each pentacle is a representation of something that they were not equipped. They weren't emotionally equipped at the time to handle or to deal with or to interpret. And this could also be indicative of the fact that they felt there were so many distractions. There were so many distractions in their life. There were so many other things that were going on in their life. Not to say that that took any sort of more importance to what was going on between you guys or your feelings. But at the time, I'm hearing that it was just so much going on. There was just too much. And it's like your feelings, or it has nothing to do with you. Let me complete the sentence, and then we're going to backtrack and kind of explain it. But it's that your feelings kind of came out of nowhere, or your explanation came out of nowhere, or your demands were coming out of nowhere. Not that they were overly demanding, or that your feelings were too much, or whatever it was. These instances that were coming up were too much. It's just at the time, it was almost feeling blindsided by that information, or blindsided by what was happening. And it's like, I can't juggle everything efficiently. And it's not that, again, these other things necessarily took prevalence over your feelings, but at the time, that's just what was appropriate. That was just how it was supposed to be. That was how it was meant to unfold. And so rightfully, they chose the correct path, even though it didn't feel good at the time. It didn't feel good for either of you. But there was a necessity as far as divine guidance in the way that this had transpired. It's not a reflection on how they feel about you, and it's not a reflection like their genuine feelings for you, and it's also not a reflection on just you in general, right? It's a them problem, not a you problem. Okay, so I'm seeing this progression with their mentality and their spirituality and their time, where they're able to reflect and see, like, oh, in the past I was immature, or in the past I wasn't well equipped to handle it. And there's a gratitude that I'm getting with that too, where they're saying to themselves, to some capacity, okay, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that they're actually like speaking this out in their thoughts, but it's this feeling that I'm getting of kind of realizing, okay, well, had I handled it a different way in the past, it wouldn't have worked out because I wasn't in the right, the space wasn't right for us, right? There's like things in the environment were not where they are today, basically. I'm in a better position than I was then. And I'm seeing that being accurate for you as well. So just as they have progressed, you've progressed also. And so there should be, in your mind too, you agreeing with it. And it's kind of like hard to swallow, where it's like, yeah, I agree, but I don't like it. You know, I don't really appreciate it. And there has to be an apology coming from them, or multiple apologies or multiple explanations from them. If I were to accept this back into my life, there would have to be proof from them that they are someone that has recognized this and is not going to do that again. And I'm seeing that there is change, but you're absolutely right with that. And that is part of their path, and that is part of their intuition to say and mature. That's their own spiritual maturity of saying, I do want to do that. That is something that I already am thinking before it's even discussed between you guys. Because I'm not seeing a discussion between you guys. If you are discussing things, or you're in a communication with this person, then it's not about this. It's like you're dancing around it, right? So, let's see what we have here. Yeah. See, with the Magician here and the Ten of Swords reversed, I'm seeing the role reversal here. That's what is being emphasized here to me, is a role reversal, where before you would be in the position where maybe you're the kind of person that does cut people off when they mistreat you, or you're the kind of, like, immediately, right? It's like you take no BS from anybody. But for some reason, right, there's this something between you guys, a connection between you guys that lets you linger a little bit more, or let this bother you a little bit more, or you took it a little bit more personally because how their behavior was and, like, the dynamics between you guys. And you can see their potential, or you can, and what I'm saying is, it's not necessarily their potential in the sense that it's something that they aren't working towards. It's, you have that vision of their path. Like, you have this intuitive knowing of where they're headed, and it's somewhere that you feel in your heart is in agreement with you and your path. There's a lot of passion shared between you guys. It's a mutual passion, and it's an intense passion that's burning steadily and is increasing its flames right now. Like, I can feel the intensity pulling you guys together. And the role reversal of them saying, I'm taking control of my destiny, I'm taking control of my life, I'm taking control of this situation, and I'm going to step up and I'm going to unburden my person. I'm going to unburden you from what it is. It's like this untangling of the past issues, of the lack of personal responsibility is what it really comes down to, is what it feels like to me, is this lack of personal responsibility, or this lack of even, like, acknowledgement of what you're saying. It's almost like there was a disconnect in what you were saying. You two were speaking two different languages, and it kind of feels like they were foggy in the past. Like, let's say that they were using substances in the past, and now they're a lot cleaner now, or it's like they, again, it's distractions, right? Or maybe they had a lot of things going on, and that's kind of where I'm seeing that fogginess in their past. So it's, no matter what you said back then, it couldn't register because they weren't at the same level as you at that time. There was something blocking that. There was a barrier between you two, okay? And that barrier has been released. They've overcome that. And it feels like they feel uncomfortable where they're at right now in their environment, because it feels like they have one foot in the past and one foot in the future. The future is where they want to go with you. The past is not that they want to stay there, because that's where that discomfort comes from. It's them recognizing that where they're at currently with that one foot in the past is because of necessity. It's like you can't just up and decide one day you want to move 3 states away, right? Like you have to take initiative and planning to get to moving to 3 states away. And that even includes finding a career in that area, right? So it's like these practical matters are holding them back mentally. It's starting to really stir at them and frustrate them and cause a lot of discomfort. And it feels like your person's getting a little agitated because of the fact that they want to keep moving forward. And it's in a very rapid way. It feels a rapid movement and fixation. And it feels very, I'm getting like a stale, moldy. Like that's what it feels like. Their past is like moldy and stale. And like that's exactly right. It just feels moldy and stale. That's what I'm gonna say. Their past is not where they want to be. Interesting. I'm hearing, see, this is exactly what I was saying with the 9 of Pentacles. See how there's like this river of pentacles, this trail of pentacles that they left behind, and they have to go and pick each one up, and each one up is a confession. It's a confession to you. It's an apology to you. It's an acknowledgement to you. It's a respectable boundary that maybe they didn't acknowledge in the past. It's like little by little they have to go and pick up each pentacle, which they're willing to do, but there is some guilt associated with it, and that's what is delaying this. There is a delay also, not just the practical matters that are delaying them, but there's also a mental battle with them. It's not necessarily a battle. I'm not really seeing it as a battle. It's just them coming to terms. They have to fully come to terms and feel comfortable in taking that initiative. It's not that they don't want to, because they definitely do. They just have to get used to that feeling first, because they know that it's a lot to uncover and it's a lot to dredge up, and they feel really bad. They feel really bad about it. And we have the Knight of Swords reversed, and it feels like this is the energy that they're in, which is a very good energy in the sense that they don't want to come rushing in as the upright position. They don't want to come in and be perceived as like overbearing or intense or distasteful in the way that they approach you. They don't want it to seem as if it's like this abrasive approach when it comes to you, or tactless. They want to come in a way that you feel secure in knowing that they're being honest. You know that their intention is in the right place, and that their delivery and the way that they're coming towards you is in a way that you feel you deserve. It's like you may desire them to come forward and talk to you, or to apologize, or to do whatever it is that you feel that needs to be righted from their wrongs. However, you know in your heart that it would feel a lot more gratifying if they came to you as if you were the royalty that you are, right? Like you are the emperor or the empress, and they are the pauper or whomever it is. Like they are here to serve you, and I'm hearing like grant you your wishes. Like you're someone that they look up to, and that they rightfully put on a pedestal, not in a you know, distorted way, but in an honorable way. You know, you want to see them come to you in a more mature and structured way, that's saying, hey, I have given this some thought. I'm not just coming in here, you know, in the middle of the night. It's like drunk texting in the middle of the night. Like, yes, I would love that. That would be amazing in some ways, if you're just like confessing everything and just letting it all out there. But it would feel a lot better if I knew that you came to me, you know, with a clear conscience and a clear thought, and that you had really put a lot of effort and thought into what it is that you're saying, you know, and it's not just compulsive, right? I was hearing with this gossip, and like how gossip can only hurt the situation. It doesn't serve anything to be gossiping about each other or about other people. So it feels like a side note, a side warning to avoid any sort of gossip. Keep this situation not necessarily private, but, you know, keep it preserved is how I'm saying it. Like, take care of the situation, nurture it, make sure that it's, you know, it preserved is the word that I'm getting. It's like you preserve it, you maintain it. They're showing me it in a representation of like a crystal, like fine crystal, or like trophy or something, where it's like this shiny, valuable, and invaluable in a lot of ways thing that you make sure is in a safe spot, is dusted, has a nice, bright, beautiful light shining on it. Like, take care of this. Don't just let anybody just put their fingerprints all over it. And you know, who cares about their opinion, basically. Only you decide what the value is in this fine crystal, right? Although it does have some sort of inherent value. Because, anyway, so that's what I'm seeing as like a side note here for both of you. Because it feels like there was some sort of exchange of words or opinions surrounding this relationship that you have with this particular person, or there's some sort of obstacle to overcome with regards to that. If this is not something that, if that doesn't resonate, then it would have to be something like, it would have to be some sort of like thought processes maybe that you have. Basically what I'm saying is it's going to be a long road ahead with this particular person, overcoming these initial things I was talking about, whether it's gossip amongst other people, or it's like the way that you are. It's like people, like let's say that you were in a relationship with someone else, okay? And now you have to break up with this other person to be with the one that I'm picking up on here. And now your sweet neighbor who always, you know, bakes you some goodies, and your person some goodies, is going to keep asking about that other person. It's like things like that, where it's like people who see you in one way are now going to be seeing you in a different way because of this reconnection with this person. Being a long road ahead does not necessarily mean that it's a negative thing. That's not what I'm seeing with this. They're just saying that you have to work together on this. You have to be on the same page as this, because it's going to be a lot easier when you are on the same page. This isn't something that you need to do alone, right? This is something that you can openly discuss with your person and really be on the same page with this, because you're going to find out that you actually are on the same page. You are on each other's side, right? They're not your enemy. Like, you're working together at this, and it's going to make things a lot more joyful. The process is going to be a lot more joyful. This road ahead is going to be a lot more joyful as you assist each other in this. And again, it's a representation that this person is coming forward, okay? And he's here, or he or she is here to help you. They're here to assist you. And what do I mean by that? It's assist you in cleaning up their mess mentally, right? Like, it's like the mental things that you have had to deal with, right? As far as like whatever it is that they've done, they're coming in with their apologies, with their heavy lifting. We'll say they're here with their heavy lifting to be like, listen, I know I caused all this stress, I know I caused all this burden, I'm sorry for that. This is what I have in mind for us to do. This is what I have in mind. How does this work out for you? How does this feel for you? What does this look like for you, right? You delegate as the emperor or empress that you are, and I shall follow through. You can trust me, you can believe in this, and you can believe in me. I am going to stand by what I say. And this doesn't feel like a bad person. This doesn't even feel like someone who, like, they feel very sincere, right? Like maybe their actions didn't reflect that, but I think that's where that confusion set in for you, and why you've been hanging on so long is because it didn't seem to be in alignment with how you feel they truly are, right? You feel like they're a sincere person, they're a loving person, they're a passionate person, and you share this passion with each other. And so I see this as like the past. They want to leave the past in the past by acknowledging the past and doing their best to clean that up for you, and in some ways with you, because mentally there has to be some sort of, you know, you expressing how this made you feel and so on and so forth. And then I'm seeing they're waiting for you. I'm seeing that like highlighted in my head like a scroll. It almost seems like, you know, those like what is it, like those billboards that scroll the letters across, and it just scrolled across and it says they're waiting for you. And it feels like a separate message here. It could be a completely separate message from this, but if I were to connect it to this, what it feels like to me is beyond the horizon, beyond this reconciliation. And as you go along this path that I talked about, this arduous path that is a lot easier when you work together on this, and it's not supposed to be difficult, it's not going to be difficult, it's just long. So I feel like that's also indicative of like them gaining your trust back and proving themselves to you, and whatever it is on your end that needs to be shown to them. Then as you go there, there's a new chapter, and it feels like you're surrounded by a lot of people, a lot of new people, a lot of different people. So who's waiting for you on the other side of this dawn, like on this next new horizon, this new chapter, this new towards the end of the path? What does that lead to? It leads to a whole group of friends and family and associates that you guys are building together, and connecting with together. It's a new perspective. It's a new way of seeing things, and building together. Okay, so that's what I see for you guys. Okay, and if you can also look at this in the sense that if you don't feel as if you want to reconcile at the end of the day, as this separate message I talked about, this new horizon here and the Two of Pentacles, there's your guardian angels that you have a choice. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you have a choice. So even as this apology comes in and so on and so forth, you have a choice of where your passion and your heart is leading you towards. And so this new life, either way, you're going to have something that's very rewarding for you. You're going to have this whole new set of friends and family and associates that really love and appreciate you. But that's only for those that resonates for, right? If that's something that your heart is set for. And lastly, we have the Knight of Pentacles. A practical offer coming in its infancy, right? A new practical, tangible, legitimate offer. This is not something that's in the mental realms anymore. This is something coming in for you. Okay, very soon. Bye, guys.